So Morgan, thank you so much for joining us with Culturist to talk about just what it's like to be a viral sensation and being an awesome beauty influencer. Thank you for coming. I'd like to first ask you what it's been like since you went viral a few years ago. You've amassed such a huge following. What does it feel like to have that many people watching you, doing tutorials, offering inspiration, all of that?
Honestly, the main word that I always use, it's a blessing. Honestly, I moved out probably 3 months after I was on my own at 18. I've been on my own, and I had my first house, and then I got this house. So it's just a blessing, honestly, overall. I'm just so thankful. And I love having a platform where I can use good energy and good positivity, because a lot of people use their platform, they abuse it. So I'm very thankful that I have my platform, because I think that it's really important to show self-love and self-importance and, build each other up and don't categorize people. A lot of people say oh, big girls are winning or skinny girls are winning. I want everyone to win. So it's awesome to have a platform that I can spread that, because a lot of people won't speak on it.
Now, when it comes to beauty specifically, what do you feel are some essentials that you always have? Things you always have in your makeup bag that are essential to have, that maybe for someone who's just starting out, these would be great things to have?
So for someone who's just starting out, I always say it's like a house. When you paint a house, you prime it. So you always need to have a base before you put on your makeup look, or else you could have the best makeup products on hand, but if you have a terrible base or no base at all, it's not going to work out, because you're putting it on your bare skin, and whatever kind of skin texture you have, not all makeup will pick up on. So a lot of people blame the brand and say, I hate this product, didn't work good on me, but they didn't do their research. And I love everyone, but come on, you got to do your research sometimes, because it really, really depends what you have under your skin, So I use my favorite, on hand. I have this by Benefit, the POREfessional, and for hydrating, I live in Florida, so I need hydration.
You need it.
And the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. It is with coconut water and probiotics. I can't even speak. Base ingredient.
Probiotics is a hard word.
Yes. So this is my ultimate primer. As you can see, it's as skinny as, not me, but it's skinny. It is amazing though. So I use it all the time. It's so hydrating, and it just applies my makeup so flawlessly after. So
that's amazing. All right, perfect.
Yeah,
well, speaking of hydration, actually, summer is coming. And I'm in Chicago myself, and it can get pretty dry here too. A mix of humidity and dry air. So what would you say are some essentials someone should have for summer if they want to have that hydrated, glowy look?
Okay, so I'm going to actually show you what I do.
Okay.
So I already applied my primer, so we could keep the tutorial going.
Okay.
So I applied this one, actually. I didn't apply the hydration one.
Okay.
So this is the Estée Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. This is very good because it does not move. So what I do is take it, I put it on the back of my hand, like so. You don't need a lot of it. It really depends on what kind of coverage you want. Okay. And then I take the liquid Cover FX Custom Enhancement Drops. Okay. And, oh, girl, got a little on it. You see it falling? It's because it dries up, actually.
Oh, yeah.
But in the product, you just drip. I might put 2 to show you a real glowy look. And so you can literally take the back of your finger. I'm not going to use the middle finger. And don't mind this pinky, because I injured it, so I can't put a nail on it. It's very sad. Rest in peace. So I just mix the foundation together. And what it does is it adds that shimmering look.
Oh, nice.
But you don't have to buy a shimmering foundation to put that. And same goes for the powder highlighters, etc. Because you can take a beauty blender or any kind of beauty sponge, really. And you take that highlighter and you beat it into your face as if it's foundation, because then it presses into the skin and it's not really it's not too crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of people put powder highlighter, and I love powder highlighter. But to make it more glowy and more seamless, you just dab over it. And it really,
you know what? That's so interesting. I would be this person who'd be putting this all over with a brush. Are you saying a brush is good to use, but a blender is better, depending for powder too?
Yeah, so when you have the brush, I apply it with the brush first, and then just after my makeup, I just take my beauty blender and go over it. So what I do is I put it on the back of my hand, and I do it like so, and then I just dab it into my skin and just put it all around and just keep going.
Oh, you are looking good. Look at your skin right now.
Oh, thank you. I was just going to show you my two concealers that I love. Tape Shape and Milk Makeup. Have you ever tried them?
I've tried Milk before. That's a brand that I'm very familiar with. I haven't tried the other one
I
though.
love them. Milk is so nice, and they're such a nice company. So I like the coverage of the Tarte Tape Shape, but I like the formula of the Milk.
Okay.
The Tarte Tape Shape is so thick, and it takes me forever to blend out. So what I do is a little goes a really long way. In fact, that's probably too much. So I just dab like 3. It doesn't matter.
Nice.
And then I take the Milk, and I'm actually running out, but I still have. I don't really use it for coverage anyway, so a little goes a long way with this too.
Okay.
So I blend it in, and then I get the formula, but the coverage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
It's just one of my little beauty things. I don't know if I got that from someone or what, but I've seen people mix a lot of their products together. But
well, earlier, what you were mixing your foundation with highlighter? Is that what you were doing before, like when you just got started? Because
so
I've definitely tried that before. That totally makes sense.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's so good, especially if you want a glowy look. Like it definitely always turns out, the way you want. You can add more, less, whatever you're going for, but it's so hydrating too.
Okay, perfect. So this is coming together nicely. So after this, once it's all blended in, is there anything else as far as like setting that goes or spray?
You read my mind.
Nice.
Setting powder.
Yes, setting powder.
At least I don't notice a difference between setting powders. I think that they all do the same job. I don't know. Maybe some beauty gurus will argue with me, but I don't care. Like setting powder does the same thing for me. So this is the Beauty Bakerie setting powder.
Okay, nice.
But you can really use anything. Like I'm not kidding, at least in my opinion. So I just press it under my eyes.
Nice.
And set that makeup in.
Oh, nice.
And I love the name of this brand because it's just so cute. It's called Flower. That's why they're called Beauty Bakery. So their stuff resembles like baking. I hate baking, but it's cute that I have these. I love it.
That's nice. And I also feel like what's happening here is like, this is something that maybe some people have. I know I deal with it is like, I have circles under my eyes and almost like a coloration under my eyes, and I'm always trying to cover. And I feel like you could do this without even adding any corrector or anything around your eyes. Like this would help it.
Definitely. See, I look crazy. I look like a raccoon.
You look like a superhero right now, like a mask on your face. That's exactly what it looks like.
Hello, I'm my favorite superhero. Hey. So yeah. And then you just dust it off. You really don't have to do a certain amount of time. Once again, my opinion, I don't leave this stuff on forever. It just is pointless to me to leave it on forever. So I just take any kind of brush really that's mainly for like my face, and I just
get that in.
Brush it off. Yeah, definitely. And make sure you wipe it off good because it could leave a flashback. Here, let me turn this light down a little bit. Maybe you can see. So
what is a flashback for those who are maybe novices and don't know?
So if you take a picture of flash, sometimes it looks extra white when it's not. Like a lot of concealers can give you a flashback on your pictures. Okay. And that is not cute.
It's not cute at all.
Yeah. We have to make sure we wipe it off. Or if you found a concealer that does that for you, just don't use it anymore. Okay. Use it for like your eyebrows when you shape them, or you know, even down on your chin, wherever you put your concealer besides your eyes.
And the brush that you're using right now, by the way, that's just like a general like full face brush that you could be using.
Yeah, it's a Sigma 550. Is it 550? F50. I don't know. It's you can use any brush at all. Cool. This thing, I could throw it away. It doesn't do justice. I don't know. You're just wiping away your makeup or your setting powder. Any brush can do that. So a high expensive brush, you do not have to buy a high expensive brush to be
perfect.
Cute. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes. So the next thing I do just to set it again, I do take a face powder, and this is a drugstore brand. I love this face powder. As you can tell, it's a little crooked.
It has been used. It has been used.
It's been used. Trust me. I'm not lying, y'all. I use it. So it's the Maybeline Super Stay Better Skin.
Oh, nice.
Skin transforming powder. So it's in porcelain. That's just my skin tone because I need a tan, and I use a white one. So yeah, and you can take any kind of powder brush. I use this guy. This is by Royal and Land Nickel.
Okay, perfect.
A weird name, but they sent it to me, so I use it. I use everything I get. And just dab this into your skin because you need to set it just like when you need to prime.
Okay.
When you don't set your foundation, when you try to bronze after, it just will slide everywhere because it's a loose liquid product on a powder, which is no bueno.
So that's just going to kind of like put all over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it can be used for coverage too. I have very red skin, like on my cheeks and stuff, so this definitely gives me a coverage and goes amazing on my skin. And also for that backlash, I forgot what I was saying.
Flashback.
Beauty grid is not perfect. This is live. The flashback. You can also take your setting powder, your face powder, which is a little darker, and you can go under it too. And that will also prevent a lot of flashback.
Okay, perfect.
Is that the word again? Flashback,
backflash, flashlight, something. It makes you look like a ghost with like all of that happening. You don't want that like when you're going to like a wedding or anything and your face looks like that. Absolutely not.
Definitely. Because you will be the girl that everyone's like, damn, did you see her face? Like, no.
So my question for you is like, as you're doing this, or maybe you can show me this in a second. I think one thing that I feel like is a struggle for a lot of people is whether it comes to contouring and highlighting is knowing like where to hit the face. As far as like where on the face, because like my understanding is it's essentially if light hit you from the front of your face, like those are the areas you'd want to hit. So like maybe like the bridge of your nose, somewhere on your eyebrows. Like what are areas you feel like are, and I can kind of do it a little bit with my powder here. Where are areas that you definitely want to highlight if you're trying to help that stand out?
Definitely. So you can use a contour palette, a bronzer, anything and everything. Honestly, I feel like the bronzer and the contour palette is the same thing. They just have different names and you just use them differently. So for my bronzer, which this is used too, as you can see, I just take it and I go to, like, there's a point in your face where it kind of, like, it's a little hollow. Like, it's like, you know? So that is the point to get it at. So right here, which is really where your ear is right here. I forgot what it's called. So
just that part of your face.
It's something like a cartilage. I don't know the body. So it's right here.
Right.
And you literally just pluck down.
You want to go like midway, not like all the way down to like your actual like corner of your mouth.
Yeah, I don't go all the way down here. I just stop right here, basically in the middle. So, and then you blend it out really well. And then what you don't want to do is you don't want to go like really heavy. So, or if you want a darker contour, you can. But if you're going to wherever you're going for an event, I like to build it up because it's a lot harder to blend when you put a lot on at one time.
I see that for sure. I can see almost like a little bit for myself here, like a shadow a bit too, which I'm thankful for. Maybe my cheekbones are starting to come out. Very small cheekbones.
They look good though. No, you have really good cheekbones. I was just going to tell you that.
Oh, appreciate it.
And you have like a really good like jawline too. See me, I have a round face, so I have to make my jawline. I have to make my, you know, my hollowness because I have to form my face. But you basically would do it where it's supposed to be or where you would have it. Okay. And then it just mimics or shows if you had one. Okay.
No, that totally makes sense. I mean, every face is different, so everyone has to do a little bit of a tweak depending on what it is that they have.
Definitely. Just like when you contour your nose, you can literally make a whole new nose. You don't even need a nose job if you ever want to get your nose done.
I mean, that's slightly what I wonder if that's like what some of the Kardashians did. Because like, is it either is the nose real or are they just that amazing at contouring? It could be
honestly, they probably both. Honestly, because Mario is a phenomenal makeup artist. So I can only imagine. There's just so many tips and tricks to the makeup industry that can make, like when I put my contour up here, which is on my forehead, it makes my forehead appear smaller because it's a shadow. So I go right up here where my hair is, basically.
Yes.
And I just blend, blend, blend. That is the key, to keep blending.
I almost feel like we're going to need a before and after picture when this is all done, because from like where we started to where you are now, it's like a completely different face. Like it's
catfish. It's all MTV.
100% catfish. Got Neve Schulman over here.
So yeah, you just blend, blend, blend. And I also contour with blush. Some people don't. Some people do.
Contour with blush? Oh, that is interesting. Okay.
Yeah. But you don't do a lot like you do with your contour.
Oh, for sure.
But this is by Benefit. Also, the Dandelion. And I do it on my cheeks first because that's where you want to focus on.
Nice.
So you do it on your cheeks, and then you bring it up lightly. And it just blends your makeup in. And I feel like it looks like more natural, but you don't want to go heavy, especially right here, because that is not cute. We don't do that.
It's going to make you almost look like a caricature on TV or something, like a clown face. I feel like if you start to go too intense.
Definitely.
That's like high school prom situation when like you just like you didn't know fully what you were doing. And you just like smudged makeup all over your face to try and make yourself look cute.
It's okay, girl. Look at you now. Looking cute.
Duckling into
doing
swan.
Makeup. And then I just add a little bit up here, but it's not like a noticeable thing really, and it probably isn't even necessary. But for my skin, I'm very pale. So
you want to add color where you can.
Yeah, definitely. I naturally do get red. So if I can get a little more pinkish, but like a cute like undertone under the bronzer, it definitely looks a lot better for me and my taste on my skin.
Nice.
So, yeah. And you want me to show you some highlighter?
Yes, please.
Because that is the bomb. Here is the next item that is actually sadly discontinued and is very used up also.
Is that an Anastasia palette?
Yes, it's the Nicole Guerrero palette, which
That's
is
one of my favorite brands.
Yes, and my favorite beauty guru is Nicole Guerrero. I was so happy that they came out with a highlighter because it's a well-deserved palette, and it's such a good palette. Like, I'm not kidding. They shouldn't have discontinued it. Okay. So, like you said, with the brush, I take... This is actually a brush that I do recommend buying. I personally don't like fan brushes on me. I don't know. It just doesn't work as well as this guy, I feel. So this is the Morphe M509.
Okay.
This is something to invest in. I think Morphe is extremely affordable, so it's definitely something I would buy. Okay. So I take the Forever Young shade, and I take the Glow Getter, and I like to just go right here.
Okay.
Where the highest point of my cheekbone is, and give the illusion that I'm just like more poppin'. Oh, nice. So, it's just, I love this palette. It really depends on what highlighter you have too. Okay. Like if you want to be more glowy, I would definitely recommend getting a highlighter that you love.
And you're kind of is it only just on that area that you're focusing on right now, or would you be putting that anywhere else?
Okay, so I also put it up here. Okay. Above my eyebrow, because when you turn, it will
hit that. Okay.
Yeah. And in the sunlight or in any kind of lighting, really. And I'm not a big nose highlighter, but it looks
just like a little dab.
Yeah.
Just a little dab on the nose.
You can go like that too. A lot of people love doing that. So, and then you just really keep blending. And I also put it on my chin right here. Oh, nice. Definitely. Then I do it right here. And I just want to make sure I don't like go crazy. And if you go crazy with highlighter, just take a little bronzer and go on top of it.
Okay. That's a good way to kind of like help correct it if you went a little too much.
Definitely. If you want really glowy, go on your eyelids too.
Oh, that's interesting. Because I'm wearing, I think right now I'm wearing an Urban Decay palette, and I have like a purplish look a little bit, but I've always wanted to figure out like how I could use highlighter on my eyes, but like just adding a little bit on the lid.
That, if you want like, okay, I only add it on the lid if I don't have any other eyeshadow on. I don't wear eyeshadow every day, but my favorite thing to do is take, you can really take any kind of brush that is very thin and take that highlighter, any shade, and just go right.
Oh, that makes sense.
On the brow. And then it just is the same way. It goes right under it. And it's
kind of just adds like a nice little like touch there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, you can add as much highlighter as little highlighter. I go a little crazy with highlighter, so I go in more. And
I mean, once the summer comes, it's okay to add, I think, extra highlighter because you want your face to be as shiny as possible.
Definitely, because then they don't think you're sweating. That's just it. Like,
exactly. It covers all of that.
Literally. And the biggest trick is, I've seen this all over. I didn't make this up at all, but this is the Morphe setting spray. You can take any setting spray. Okay. And make sure you take a good deep breath because I spray a lot. You don't want to breathe this stuff in. But It's like hairspray. And then let it dry a little bit.
Okay.
What will happen if you don't let it dry? If you apply the highlighter right now, instead of letting it dry for a few more seconds, it will move your makeup.
I was going to say, it feels like it's going to cause a streak or something.
So let it dry a little bit. While you're doing that, you can do whatever else you're trying to fix on your face. So do your eyebrows.
Get the eyebrow fixed up. Fill it in.
Yeah. Just do something, in the meantime, so you don't try to rush.
Exactly.
And go crazy.
Okay,
on
nice.
Your face. Definitely. So I'll give it like a few more seconds or just, fan it. And then take that same highlighter and don't go like this.
Right.
Don't stroke it. Just pat it.
Pat it down.
Yeah. And then you take your beauty sponge, and this is what makes it like very like patting into the skin. It pushes it into your skin.
I feel like that beauty blender is probably one of the most essential tools that someone could have, along others, just because I've seen you use it multiple times. And before I was I would honestly use my fingers to do things, and I didn't realize how much
it's not bad,
oil
though, to use your fingers too.
You don't think it's that bad, depending, or are there certain places when you shouldn't be using your fingers because of the oil on them, or is that maybe that's a misconception?
I don't think it blends as good, but it definitely works better than a brush.
Okay. Well, yeah, definitely better than a brush for sure.
And I just wipe off any foundation because I look a little crusty. And then me personally, when I do a very glowy look, I try to focus on the glow. Okay. So I just take a clear glass because I don't want anything dramatic because I'm trying to be glowy. So you don't want to lose focus on what you worked hard for. All right. So now it's pretty much done. I'll do a little zoom in.
Oh,
so it's very,
nice.
like natural but glowy. So it blends very well.
Yes.
But it also sits on the skin.
I feel like this is essentially just an enhanced you. Like that's why I think the glowy look is especially one of like the big trends right now, because you're not necessarily an overdone look of yourself. You're just amplifying maybe some of the assets that you already have, like how the lines of your face are, or depending on like the shading that you're doing. But like you essentially, I mean, obviously you're more glammed up than when we started, but it's not like that drastic of a change either. And it didn't take that long for us to get through this either. So that's really nice for people to see too.
Fast.
Beautiful.
It's so great.
Thank you. Well, Morgan, you look amazing. Thank you for teaching both myself and everyone watching how to do this, because admittedly this is a trend that I think will be super popular. It's always a popular trend, but for this summer especially, people want to look their best. This is a good go-to look to have for sure.
Definitely.
Morgan, thank you so much for joining us on Culturist and teaching us these amazing beauty tips that we could all use this summer. And for those watching, please check us out on CulturistFS on Twitter and CulturistFS on Instagram, so you can check out more tips that we can offer there too.
Definitely. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thanks, Morgan. Stay looking fabulous.
Thank you so much. Take care.